Why do ERPNext Shopify integrations break? In this video, we are going to be looking at what is called the infinite sync loop, or you can call it the infinite loops in ERPNext, and of course in any software that you can ever build. So here we are going to look at a quick introduction. What is a sync loop? And a sync loop is ideally a loop, or rather a kind of an execution that keeps repeating itself. So for example, in the context of ERPNext and Shopify, a sync loop is a situation where ERPNext does something, goes to Shopify, Shopify gets it back to ERPNext, and that process repeats itself. So a sync loop is something that ideally has no end unless the server crashes or something like that. So how does the integration process look like? Because Shopify ERPNext integration is not unique, but I would like us to look at how this process is supposed to look like. All right, that is contextually. So we have what we call the two-way data flow, and two-way data flow is where data is supposed to flow from Shopify to ERPNext, and some other data is supposed to flow from ERPNext to Shopify. So there is no single one-way flow of data. The data is supposed to be able to flow from either Shopify to ERPNext or vice versa. And what are webhooks and what are their roles? So webhooks are ideally a kind of a communication protocol. So their role in this integration is to ensure that data moves from Shopify to ERPNext. And so how does that happen? Something happens in Shopify. For example, an update is done on the price of a product, and that is supposed to sync that price back to your ERPNext instance. And how that happens is that when it changes on Shopify, a webhook is triggered, and that webhook is what informs ERPNext that there is a change. What are inbound and outbound hooks? Now, these are the other way. So you see, when we talked about webhooks, I told you that they are moving from Shopify to ERPNext. When we talk about inbound and outbound hooks, these ones are resident in ERPNext. So an inbound hook is a hook that receives data or information from Shopify, and an outbound hook is a hook which sends data to Shopify. So ideally that is kind of self-explanatory. Inbound means data is coming in, and remember you are sitting in ERPNext. A webhook in the context of ERPNext Shopify, a webhook works from Shopify to ERPNext. But when we are talking about hooks then is the other way, ERPNext to Shopify. All right. So when you say inbound, it means something is coming in. So that is data coming into ERPNext from Shopify. And when you say outbound, then that means ERPNext is the one that's sending data to Shopify. So step one, changes made in Shopify. So when you make a change in Shopify, I gave this example. For example, let's say you have updated the name of an item. And I know I have my notes here, but these are just to guide me. I don't have to give you explicitly what I have written here. So when you change, for example, the name of a customer, the name of an item or something like that, or even the price that I gave you earlier, what's supposed to happen is that it is supposed to trigger a hook, not a hook, sorry, but a webhook, which is then supposed to send that information to ERPNext. It is received there and processed. So that is the first thing. Change made in Shopify triggers a webhook. Step two, you can see here, webhook trigger to ERPNext, and that is step two. So again, this one I actually already explained. When that change happens, it triggers a webhook that goes to ERPNext. Step three, ERPNext saves the record. Of course, let's say for example you updated the customer name and the webhook was triggered, it sends to ERPNext. ERPNext receives that, and when it receives that, it is going to process that depending on how you have programmed it to work. Okay. So in this case, we are of course going to save that record. For example, let's say we updated the customer name from John Doe to Jane Doe, then we expect that customer name changes to Jane Doe in ERPNext. And step 4, we have what is called the outbound hook activation. Outbound hook activation And outbound hook activation is where we have now remember ERPNext has updated something, all right, but remember we are also listening for some activities that are happening in ERPNext. So that is why we have a step 4 here, that is outbound hook activation. And remember, we are trying to explore how as this kind of a loop sync occurs in the integration. So we have a change in Shopify, triggers a webhook, goes to ERPNext, then ERPNext saves. Remember, we are listening to the save event in ERPNext. So when ERPNext receives that, it triggers an outbound hook. When an outbound hook is triggered, I mean, in step 5, Shopify is going to receive that as an update. All right. So remember, there is actually no update here. Actually, the update came from Shopify. It went through a webhook to ERPNext. ERPNext saved it. But then the save event in ERPNext, we have programmed it to listen to such things as save, whether you are updating or you are inserting a new record. And then that is going to automatically trigger or activate the outbound hook. All right. So the outbound hook is again going to send that information to Shopify. And then Shopify is going to go ahead and start updating that. That is step 5. Step 6, the cycle repeats. Why is the cycle going to repeat? The cycle is going to repeat because remember again, Shopify is also listening to the save events. So this thing, whether it was saved by a human, all right, you went to Shopify, went to a customer, changed their customer from John Doe to Jane Doe and saved, that triggers a webhook. And then in this case, it is not a human being, it is now a system. A system came and saved this thing again. When it is saved, a webhook again is going to be triggered back to ERPNext. So this is how the infinite loop is going to occur. And that is why the cycle is going to repeat. So that is the design flow. Because ideally what is supposed to happen here, the system is supposed to be able to know when, or rather the direction that the data is moving. So for example, when you updated a customer name from Shopify, that data is flowing from Shopify to ERPNext. And when you do some change in ERPNext, the design flow is supposed to tell the system that the data is moving from ERPNext to Shopify. So if you do not have a mechanism of knowing when the direction in which data flow is moving, then you are not going to save yourself from an infinite loop. So how do we then protect these things? There is something we call protecting protected inbound state. And protected inbound state is a situation where, or a scenario where, you have a state that tells the system which system is receiving the data. All right. So for example, when you update Shopify, ERPNext is supposed to know that it is receiving the data. And when you update something in ERPNext is supposed to be aware that it is sending the data. So in this case, it is going to trigger an outbound hook to Shopify. But in the event that it is receiving, so ERPNext is self-aware, knows that I am receiving data, then in this case, I am not supposed to trigger an outbound hook back to Shopify. So how do you implement the sync context then? Because again, a sync context is another way that you can be able to save yourself or save your system or save your customer from the problem of having an infinite loop. A flag, this is something that you put in your design that tells the system again the flow, or rather what is exactly happening in the process that you are doing. So it's a kind of a signal that, hey, ERPNext, please, this one is an inbound loop. It's an inbound call, so do not trigger outbound. So it's kind of a flag or kind of a signal. And then when you have updated ERPNext, this is supposed to be now a signal that, hey, ERPNext, this is an outbound, so please call the webhook that's supposed to inform Shopify that there is a change that's happened on this end. So then we have disabling outbound hooks during inbound execution. Now, of course, I have been explaining this. So when you have an inbound, you need to disable the hook that calls Shopify telling it to do any update. You need to disable that. And how are you going to disable that? You are going to disable that in two ways. Number one is the data flow, and number two is the flag that we just discussed. What are the consequences of an infinite loop chamber? Number one, data inconsistencies rise. And of course, if you have been doing Shopify ERPNext, I know this is not anything new, where you have data inconsistency. Shopify says this, ERPNext says the other thing. And then we have system performance degrades. I don't have to tell you that. When you have a loop that keeps running and repeating itself, of course you are going to have a problem, because the server is going to be busy processing things that are ending. Imagine if only 2 customers make a purchase, and then these loops keep going back and forth from ERPNext to Shopify, Shopify to ERPNext, and then it creates what we are calling an infinite loop. Remember, this is happening throughout for both calls. So this is going to happen forever, and of course that's going to mess up your server. And then number 3, we have integration failure. How is it going to succeed? Of course, it's going to fail, because the moment the server fails, then there is no way the integration is going to stand. How do we conclude this thing? We need to make integrations production ready. It is not enough to say that an integration is working. It needs to be tested. I like to say like the way we test the wheels of a Bugatti Veyron. So it's not enough to say that I have an integration. You can see it's updating customer, it's sending it to ERPNext, sending it from ERPNext to Shopify. That's not enough. You need to ensure that it has stood the test of time, and the test of time is going to be checked when you deploy that thing to production and people have started making orders. That in the context of ERPNext and Shopify. That having been said, if you need this kind of an integration, you can visit upelsoft.com. We have that integration there ready for production, and we are going to be happy to work with you on that. I have left the link to that in the description of this video.